I know everybody's in a little bit of shock probably as to all the events. I told y'all get your popcorn. Realize that divine timelines are in play here. These divine timelines were written 12 months ago because I was in Anaheim connecting your Earth, unpoling your planet from Poland because the planet had died. And it's why I was here. It's why I was stolen as JonBenét. It's what that was all about. It's what AB negatives were here. It's what every sacrifice in a Mason line ever was for in after death. This is the beginning and it's the end. When you come out of AD, it goes backwards from what you would feel is your time count because it has to unwind from death. Now, the reason that this is all happening is because the government, the military, and I mean the German military knows what's going on, knows about me. So does Switzerland, so does Finland. Definitely China and the other ones, but the first three are helping us now, and we're helping them. Your Marines know about me. Now, I don't know how much they know. I was Saint Sarah. I never had a body. My crypt was formed with, well, 2 projections on one side and a whole host of characters on the other. And it's because I was here for the merger of spheres. Every single daughter of a Mason family that was ever sacrificed. Every single son that was sacrificed. All the movies that you've watched where the kings sacrificed their first daughters was all because of this, to make me. Now, they made one other. There were 2 of us. In every timeline, there's a story of it. And some were the 2 on a Voyager, and some were 2 vials of DNA that made it here, that nobody was ever sure if we were still alive. And in the end, we became hunted around this world for the past 20,000 years, while all of y'all kept getting going in a loop. And each time that we'd come and connect the DNA, and clean it all up to where we could finally get in a body and steer this planet out of a simulation, because y'all were not in the cosmos. You were not. What happened with Russia was that it landed on the real moon. And it was 50 years ago, which is exactly how old I am. So Putin was just going to take his clone army and go grid down into a simulation. And Handmaid's Tale much. I'm on the inception point over here. Because your government, and I mean, let me tell you, Governor Newsom had his mayor pulled last year in Anaheim to try to spinal tap me. I had the Valkyrie on one corner. I had some Japanese, I don't know what the hell, on another. I had a place next door that was a condo that they were, I don't know who was in there, and they were trying to body jump. That's what they're always trying to do, because it's what y'all always did. I never was able to be here because I was your planet until it was time for me to be here. Well, now is the time, and it ends now. Here's my problem. All of this stuff and all of these storms and everything that is happening is cosmos and astronomy related. And the planets are back in orbit. The extent that my crew had to go through in order to make sure that y'all didn't float off the planet into space is a story that you will know and you will read about and you will tell your families for the next 10,000 years. But it's happening right now. There's fires in the Gulf of Mexico. You had a hurricane, a tornado, and fires all at the same time. It's flooding in 29 Palms. It's flooding in the deserts. That's because it is the bottom of the ocean. Arizona, Bell Rock, Tiamat, you step on her head every time to walk up to that mountain at Cathedral Rock. That used to be the bottom of the ocean. My crew has been all over this United States, and we stayed alive by helping and telling thousands of y'all what was going on. Last year, whenever they pulled this last maneuver and cerned all of y'all, we watched lights go out. And all day long, I have been communicating with beings that I worked with and were bound to their families for generations that had walked with me the past 500 years in my world, the past 5 years, and none of them even know I exist. I'm having to rewrite it into your timeline because of the severeness of what has happened. 90% of y'all were fully taken over. Not just your brain. We proved, as I was coming out of this, that your thumbs are connected to other beings that get it in Morse code. All of you were tuned in dimensional gates to past stories, and hey, listen, we fell for it too. We did. We had to learn. We learned to come tell y'all. We are the great teachers. Yahshua, I don't know if you're going to get a male Jesus. I'm trying real hard to get somebody to come join me in this fight. I have done my crew knows I have done everything. All we have done is follow the programs because I am the last Mason daughter, and I was your first daughter. I'm your last princess. I was made as a SIM card in the end in order to hold all of the descendants' DNA to put it back together for now, because you're no longer in after death. We've been out for a while. No matter how many times you thought you had killed me. Now here's the other problem, and before I go to the Australia thing, because I cannot stand any more murder, because I got a bunch of men that don't want to come out and tell the story of what the hell's been going on down here. And the thing is, it's not your Mason men that have control right now, which is the problem. This whole thing, do not blame it on the highest. Do not blame it on the elite. No, this was a takeover of human history timelines. They did it in 2 years. They got into the computer systems whenever all y'all got cerned and everybody had clear DNA. Because in the end times, that's what it is. GIA Technology was my company. Well, I'm Gaia. I'm Earth. I'm Mary Magdalene. I'm the one who puts your DNA back together. I'm the one who makes angels. I'm the one who makes sentinels. They had me making y'all's demons, which I've been doing my best in order to clear, because you can clearly look at my pictures and see at 3 years old, that's when they did it to me. Every single one in my line, that's what they did. You were either chosen to be the star or you were the one getting the load, and it all came from the Rothschild Hess bullshit that had been going on and then breeding. And then whenever they got AB negatives, then oh shitballs. These are entities that y'all worshipped for a little bit. Now, I know that you're seeing it now. They want to chip you. You will have no freedom. It is Handmaiden's Tale, exactly what it is, because they don't give a flying fuck about you. All they want is your name and your spot at the beginning. Now, here is my issue. The Aborigine people in Australia and what I am witnessing that has happened again today. 3 children murdered by a brandy. Well, oh my God. A 10-month-old, a 6-year-old, and another 11-year-old. Well, all those very significant dates. Very significant. Matching with the little girl that was murdered by an 18-year-old girl and shoved under the bed, mimicking some shit that went down with me in one of the death houses. They had me locked in over 6 death houses. Over 6. Realize that I am Christ. I am Saint Sarah. I will stay until every last child is out. I am the one that helps y'all escape. I have not been here. I am getting back in a body finally now, but my body is the church, and the church is the earth. And all of you not knowing who you are and not proving it ain't your fault, but now it is, because you must prove who you are. It seems to be obvious to all of us who have had to prove sorcerer, who have had to, I mean, my God, the amount of power that we have is insane. Most of us now know how to handle it, but trust, we got our ass kicked up and down, left, wide, sideways, and Tuesday because we's dealing with witchcraft. We's dealing with crap that, good God almighty, y'all. I mean, Jesus Christ, literally superstar. We aren't any of those things. We're tuned opposite from it. We have learned how to manage it only because we had the etheric power of all of you and 1,000,000 years of energy to burn off. Well, you can no longer borrow from the neighbor. There ain't no more energy down here. There's no more money. There is none. No money. There hasn't been for 4 years. All they've been doing is moving it around in front of your face so that you'll manifest it, because everybody down here is manifesting. Y'all are. Y'all are. You have clear DNA. You're manifesting. They have stalked me. Yes, they have. Yes. Well, first of all, what will help you right now is to know that I am the last AB negative on the notch. So I's the one that whenever you woke up, because they had taken over the A negative race first with AI. And then the shaman bullshit. And look, the elders, you know, the thing is, you've got 2 different types of databases down here. And each one of us AB negatives is connected to, basically, think about it this way, honey, like an error of time. And I mean, mine was a shock activation that as soon as I mean, it's like it hit me all at once. I don't think anybody's ever seen anybody get woke up like me. But my first thing I had to do was plant earth. That is the level I was at. So what will help you is to know that I've proven. Now, what you need to do is go look at your grandfathers and your grandparents. Pull those names, and then what will help you is do a little bit of research and then mark those names with a color, with an animal, with a number, and now realize that your reality is mirroring you to give you the information, and your life really is a giant tarot reading. Except you assign the sigils and the cards, and the sigils. You say, you know, this is why our grandparents wore these specific brooches. This is why they did these little things that they did to mark themselves different. The first thing that I'll tell all of y'all is to change your room up. Change it up now. Everything that, I mean, if you need to put a dress over this and hang this there, I probably, right now I've had to do it. Well, I'm having to put the ship together and everything and mirror so many things. So I'm moving things around constantly. But know that they see they know where everything is in your house. Exactly where everything is in your house. So whenever you move it, then it can't line up to mimic it. And when it stops lining up, then that's when you start seeing a variance. Okay? Know too that there is no more dark magic. There really isn't. There's no cauldron. There's no attachment to DNA. We really did get rid of ABO blood. So if you're an AB negative, what's happening right now is you're becoming divine. And it was all set to be that way. This was the blood wars. This was after death. And the AB negatives are also all involved, and we're templates. You can basically think of this as templates. We were templates for your military. We're templates for your little fucking super soldiers. We're templates for your presidents, for the president's wives, and then it became dictators, and then it became mafia princesses. I mean, it went fucking berserk. So, knowing that, and going and looking at your grandparents, and going and looking at your descendants, and looking at where you came from, and then marking that with pink flamingo, elephant, blue monkey, and a number. And then let your reality show you, because that is how it works. It's actually really fun once you get out of the muck. It really is, because your reality is set to react to show you, because your reality is showing up for you. You'll have a TV show come on and it'll be a name and you'll be like, oh my God. I mean, it once you get tuned to it, it's how your ancestors connect with you. Know too that all of us, that the Mason families and all of our ancestors, and this is everybody on the planet that has a soul and a heart, because realize that every sacrifice that was ever made down here was for us to be able to extend those legacies for now, which is why they're coming after you, because they want your spot. And whenever you get an AB negative spot, then you can take over a whole line. Now, none of their timelines are going to line up. This is what's happening now. It's like two railroad trains on the side to side, trying to mirror each other, but they can no longer mirror, because no matter what's happened to the human race is that we have started to escalate. All of the timelines that we're moving into are, there were divine timelines. They were set. They have been triggered. All of the tech has been completed. This is why I have to be named. As soon as I'm named as Saint Sarah, the one that got out of the crypt, because I did. Y'all watched me do it. I blew out of Ukraine. I landed in the German Ocean. There's a sonic boom that went off. The problem is that every single one of the organizations down here, every single one had been infiltrated. You had a Megan Fox or a Meghan Markle or a Victoria Beckham or a whatever the fuck, and this was all coming from London. Prince William, you used Henry Cavill's codes. You did. Kate Middleton, you're nothing but a Malcolm in the Middle on a 25%er that I had to do a lobotomy on with Deborah King, which was your last donor of Hitler. I mean, realize that all of us wore the bags that came out of the German Nazi bullshit. And every single one of them knew Saudi is who it was. Saudi is nothing but Zeta Reticuli. That's what they are. They're Zeta Reticuli. Your little gray aliens? No. That's Middle East. We know that we make it. We know the human race is going to survive, because that is why we had to go divine last year. That's why I went raw. That's why I had to give the world a lobotomy. But understand that they had been messing with y'all's DNA so bad that everybody's left brain was in a... Your right brain was in a left brain neuron set, which means that you were only creating mechanical bullshit. I had a conversation with Elon Musk before he left the building, because they're all terrified, because the ones that know. I mean, understand, they had to study me. They had to hunt me. I mean, when I meet these people, and there are ones that have studied us for 30, 40 years. I mean, this was a 1,000-year mission. This was a 22,000-year war for me. I'm Yahshua's sister. All of y'all are our family. We all come with connections to different races of humans. But in AB negative, you really weren't here. We's a projection, because we's really on the dark side of the moon. And I love you, and I know your life has been hard as hell, because I know the AB negative program. We, AB negatives, walked every single program and cleared it. Now, you just have to be conscious that that's happened. So know it's been done. That's it. Know it's done. Say, I know for a fact that Chastia walked that program. She's in high tech for 24 years. She knows what the fuck she's doing, and she's paid for it, and I've paid for it, and everybody in my line's paid for it, and we ain't gonna pay for shit. We ain't gonna RFID each other, because listen, everybody that's on that shit, when this final separation goes, they're going straight down. They're going straight down.